Detachment, it's a word that gets a really bad rap, doesn't it? It sounds so cold, distant, like you just don't care. But what if that's completely wrong? What if detachment is actually one of the most powerful tools we have for thinking clearly, acting effectively, and maybe most surprisingly, for love? All right, let's get into it and really unpack what it means to be detached. Now, this whole idea is anything but new. It's ancient. This incredible passage from the Upanishads introduces a concept that is absolutely central to understanding detachment. This idea that there are, well, two of us inside, two different ways of seeing and being in the world. And this lays out that inner conflict perfectly. So on one side, you've got the ego. It experiences everything life throws at it, the good and the bad, but it's constantly reacting. It loves the sweet stuff, hates the bitter stuff. It's just getting pulled around by its preferences, kind of stumbling in the dark. But then there's the supreme self. It experiences the exact same things, but it just observes. It doesn't get hooked, it doesn't judge, it lives in light, in a state of pure, clear awareness. Okay, so with that idea of the two selves in our head, let's just get the biggest hurdle out of the way immediately, all the baggage that comes with the word detachment. When most of us hear that word, our minds jump straight to these things, right? Indifference to what's happening around us, a cold, robotic kind of dispassion, or maybe the worst one of all, a total lack of love. But I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not what we are talking about, not even close. Which, of course, brings us to the real question. If detachment isn't about being a cold, uncaring robot, then what on earth is it? This is where we really flip the script. Because at its heart, detachment isn't about shutting down your feelings at all. It's about gaining the clarity you need to act from a place of wisdom. Here we go. This is a fantastic working definition. Detachment isn't about not caring. It's about creating a little bit of space inside yourself. A pause. It gives you the power to think before you react, to make a choice from your wisest self, not just from a knee-jerk emotion. And here's the problem this all solves. Most of the time, we are just way too close to the action. Something happens and, bam, we've already reacted. Our mind, our brain, our mouth, they're all firing at once. We act first and then, maybe, if we're lucky, we think about it later. Detachment is what breaks that cycle. And this quote from General Schwarzkopf just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Deep down, that inner self, our intuition, it almost always knows the right thing to do. The real challenge isn't the knowing part, it's finding the clarity and the courage to actually do it. And that is exactly what detachment gives you. I love this metaphor. When you're in that detached state, you can make decisions with the clarity of a bell. Just think about that sound for a second. It's so pure, so clear. There's no confusion. That's the state of mind we're talking about. All right, get ready for this next part because it might be the most powerful and, well, the most surprising piece of this whole puzzle. Detachment isn't the enemy of love. In fact, in the moments that matter most, it's the deepest expression of it. Think about this absolutely heartbreaking situation. To end the suffering of a pet that you adore, you have to set aside your own incredible pain, your own desire to keep them with you for just one more day. You have to act from a place of pure love for them, detached from your own selfish needs. Or think about the immense strength it takes to care for aging parents. It is so easy to get overwhelmed by sadness, by despair about what's to come. But if you're consumed by that, you can't be the rock that they need you to be. Real, effective support comes from a place of love that's detached from your own pain, so you can be fully present for them. And wow, for so many people, this is the ultimate test, letting your child step out into the world on their own. Every fiber of your attached self wants to hold on, to protect them from everything. But the greatest act of love is to be detached from that fear, to trust them, and to give them the freedom they need to fly. So you see the common thread, right? All of these incredibly difficult acts, they require a tremendous amount of love. A love that puts the well-being of another person ahead of your own emotional attachments. It's true. In its deepest form, love has to be detached. Okay, so let's zoom out, because this exact same principle doesn't just apply to our families or our pets. It applies to how we see the entire world. You see, when our care is driven by attachment, it tends to be pretty limited. It's focused on my people, my group, my tribe. But to truly care for the world, for all of humanity, you have to operate from a place of detachment. It's a much bigger, more universal kind of care. And this is what we can call compassion. It's not just pity, it's not just feeling bad for someone. It's a profound kind of love that comes from deep understanding, not personal attachment. It doesn't expect anything back, and it can only really exist in a state of detachment. And that leaves us with a pretty challenging question to sit with, doesn't it? If the absolute greatest acts of love involve letting go of outcomes, of control, of our own selfish wants, then we have to look at ourselves and ask, what am I clinging to so tightly? And what might happen if I finally found the courage to let it go?